Why does this entire movie have a green filter? Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, otherwise known to me anyways as the one that missed. Year 6 at Hogwarts, the students are still living their lives and going through puberty and relationships and all sorts of crap, with a pretty slow story and some pretty bad writing actually. Like that first scene where Dumbledore takes Harry to that village. Dumbledore is like, "Oh, I assume you're wondering why I brought you here." Harry responds, "Actually sir, at this point I just roll with it." That might have been going for a laugh, but to me it just seemed off. And again, we have another change in Hogwarts staff. Actually, they made Snape the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher this time around, and that doesn't really matter. Even though in the first movie they said that's the job he's wanted for years. But anyways, teaching potions now is Jim Broadbent as Horace Slughorn. And this guy's actually alright, he's a nice guy. And he's actually a key piece in the main story in this film, but I'll get to that later because I still want to touch on the bad stuff because oh my God. This movie focuses a lot on the romance aspect and, you know, Ron going out with this girl, Lavender Brown, who really pisses me off, actually. Like, every time I see her on screen, I go facepalm. I'm like, oh my God, not her again. Please get her off screen. She's so annoying. Maybe that's how she was supposed to come off, but that's not good. I mean, I think everyone knows that Ron and Lavender is a joke. I mean, that's not really gonna happen. They're only together for like, what? I don't even know how long, but it doesn't matter because he eventually pairs up with Hermione, and that makes sense because of all the little hints we've been seeing throughout the preceding 5 films. And of course, since the fallout with Cho Chang last year, Harry Potter is back on the market, and we have what is, in my opinion, a completely forced romance between him and Ginny. I mean, I don't hate the idea of Harry and Ginny as a couple, but I just hate the way it was executed in this film. I mean, Harry gets to the Burrows for the first time in this film, he sees Ginny through the window, and is like, oh my God, wow, I'm in love with her all of a sudden. I mean, Bonnie Wright is attractive, don't get me wrong, but she's not that great of an actress. She's actually pretty emotionless. Really watch her in this film. She smiles like once. For most of the film, she's all stoic face. She's like, take my hand. I'm just saying, I think there's a reason that we haven't really seen Bonnie Wright that much after Harry Potter. I really wish I could say that this romance aspect is the only thing bringing this film down, but unfortunately it's not. I mean, Harry's taking this potions class with Horace Slughorn. He's pretty much cheating to get ahead. He's using the textbook that was used by someone who called himself the Half-Blood Prince. And yeah, I guess it's kind of intriguing. Oh, who's a Half-Blood Prince? Who is he? But it's not like it really matters at all. Come on, this is the title of the movie. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. It doesn't matter who the Half-Blood Prince is. It doesn't affect the overall story at all. The most intriguing parts of this movie is where we're actually finding out more about Tom Riddle's past, which is pretty much the main focus, I think, of this film. We're finding out the source of Voldemort's power. It's not like Voldemort's actually in this film or anything, which is another thing that brings this movie down. I don't know, maybe they didn't want to get repetitive with a Voldemort throwdown in every single movie, but you know, I'd like to see at least what he's up to. What is Voldemort even doing during this entire 6th year? I don't know. So yeah, the students are going through these really bad romances, we're finding more about Voldemort's history, and this is all being done under a green filter. I usually don't talk about lighting in movies because, you know, that's just not something I talk about. But my God, when it's so blatantly apparent that there's not a sunny day in this entire movie, like this whole film was like all sepia and green and gray and dull. I don't know, maybe the green filter is there because the cover of the book is green? I don't know, it's the only reason I could come up with. I don't know. And even when they try to add color like the Weasley shop, it just feels like it doesn't fit, like it's out of place. And even the music doesn't help. You know the Quidditch tryout scene where the happy music's going on and it's really gray outside and dull? I'm watching that scene like, this feels weird. The music in this film is actually pretty good, but I'll get to that in a minute. So this film is going really slow paced, dragging along with the stupid shit, and it actually gets pretty good, surprisingly, towards the end. For me, it's when Harry and Dumbledore go to that cave in the middle of nowhere at the end of the movie. That's when it actually gets good. They're there to find a certain object that is related to Voldemort's powers somehow. I'm not gonna say how. And what happens in this scene is actually really epic. It's really cool. And then we get back to Hogwarts for, it's not even a throwdown. I wouldn't even say it's a showdown. It's just kind of like a thing that happens that I say it was done pretty well, I will say that. And it's actually pretty surprising when you're watching it for the first time. You're like, oh my God, that actually happened. Wow, oh my goodness. Pretty dramatic stuff. Pretty good. But it doesn't save the movie from being my least favorite of all the Harry Potter films. And yeah, the score in this movie, again done by Nicholas Hooper, it's actually pretty good. It brings back some of the themes from the last one, but they just feel out of place because they were more happy and there's like not a sunny day in this film, like I said. Where the music shines in this one is the slow, dramatic, sad music. It's actually pretty impactful, and so that's a plus. But this film as a whole was a pretty big disappointment, and I'm saying this because it's been a while since I've read all the books, but I remember the 6th book being really good. I don't remember for certain though, I might have to read it again. I just remember leaving the theater after seeing this one and just being totally indifferent. The forced romance, the bad writing, the overacting, just the overall vibe of this film is just off. But hey, we can't win them all, right? So, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Have you seen it? Have you watched it recently? How does it rank among all the Harry Potter movies for you? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And if you like this film, I want to hear your reasoning behind it because I'm really curious. And don't forget to subscribe.